Hello and welcome to Langford and the HSBC Women's Sevens here in Canada as the World Series continues its fourth tournament of this season. Another action-packed weekend of Sevens rugby here at West Hill Stadium. Well, the season kicked off back in December of last year with the Desert in Dubai playing host to some scorching Sevens.
Strikes for Australia. Vania Politi makes it 3 Australia tries. Dante Toy. Game, set and match. USA are not coming back from this. Australia champions in Dubai.
The Aussies off to a flyer then as we headed down under, and Australia hoping to make it back-to-back wins at home.
Kazakh is in! Elliot Green! She's beautiful to watch! Australia are having a day at home!
Yeah, Australia making history, becoming the first side to win their home tournament. It was a different story in Kitakyushu, Japan, however.
Michaela Blythe scores for New Zealand. Portia Woodman creating something out of nothing. Sheer individual brilliance from Tyler Nathan Wong. New Zealand go back-to-back in Kitakyushu.
So New Zealand beating France in that final to close the gap on Australia, setting us up very nicely for Langford this weekend, and wouldn't you know it, they are back in the final before we move over to Europe and Paris in France for the season finale and the World Sevens title on the line. So going into this tournament here in Langford, this is how the World Series table looks. Australia out on top with those 2 victories in Dubai and then Sydney. New Zealand closing the gap in Kitakyushu and Japan with victory over France in the final there. Russia, they will drop a couple of places because France have made it consecutive finals here in Langford after losing it to New Zealand last time out. So let's have a look at the pools then as we went into the tournament. And Pool A, New Zealand, Fiji, England and the invitational side Brazil. Pool B, France, United States, Japan and Russia. While Pool C, Australia, Canada, Ireland and Spain. Day 1 highlights. Let's have a look back. Trying to go through the gap. Kelter with the handoff and then a lovely change of direction. Steps off the left foot. Adam Kelter stretches the legs inside the 22 and all the way she goes. What a try.
Nakamura, restart. Not quite high enough. Well gathered by Giovanni and holes opening up all over the Japanese defense. Good chase here. Tremoulier run down. She gets an offload. One more offload and that'll do it. Chloe Pell. How many times has she done that on the HSBC Women's World Series? Score level and into space. Again is the youngster. Yume Hirano has really stepped up with her experienced captain Nakamura off the field. On 3 separate occasions she stepped up and provided inspiration to the Japanese team and now provided a 5-point lead.
France trying to find some change here. Amadi sets off. Monster Amadi, lovely little step off the left-hand boot and stretches those long legs. Kelter against Amadi. Who's going to win the race? Amadi over the 22. Flying leap for the tackle and back on her feet. That's as good a try as you'll see this weekend in Langford. And it's gone to Monster Amadi. The side picks it off the deck. And USA trying to spin this one wide into the hands of you-know-who. And here she is, Tapper. Tapper's away. And Naya Tapper for the United States of America will seal the win with 90 seconds on the clock to go.
The ball spilled, gone backwards to the referee. And in fact, he's penalized Russia on the ground for not releasing. Quick tap. Jade Lepeche on her own. She's gone. She's 2 meters to go. Jade Lepeste is over the line.
Another penalty for Ireland. Quick tap and go. Stacey Flood almost at the line. Pass on the outside to Galvin in the corner. Louise Galvin underneath the post and touches down.
Emma Sykes, she goes wide. On the field, Dutoit. She's looking to go around right to the end. She falls short, but she gets up again. Was it legal? Referee's having a chat. Yes. So she released the ball after she was tackled. Canada smart not to risk the high risk pass here. Keep possession, and it's going to work. Carolyn Crosley, the youngster from Victoria, BC, scores a crucial try 3.5 minutes into this second half.
Danny Hayes there, just setting it up. And the long looping pass on the outside. Tony Gatta trying to use that pace and kick clear. And Emma Tonigato, away she goes. All too easy for the flying number 5 for Australia. Where's that ball? Turnover. Nicholas, chance to go here. Desperate defending by Ireland. Bianca Farrell trying to set off. Canada need a score. Charity Williams, can she provide it? Charity Williams, off she goes. Ireland give chase. Are they going to catch her? Higgins against Williams. Sprint for the 22, a sprint for the line, and Canada strike at the death. Irish hearts are broken. To win the game, Ghislaine Landry knocks it over. Canada snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
And that set piece works well. Clinical lineup. Oh, again, off the right foot. Emily Jerry trying to stay in touch with Kasich. She's got 10 tries this season. In fact, she has 121 all-time tries. And that's how she did it. She made it look easy.
That one's going to hang just over the 10. Heather Fisher again with no thought to her own safety. She kept her eye on the ball but just couldn't hang on to it. And a chance now for Fiji once again. Tisolo has 1 try. She's looking for 2. She's looking for 2. She's in again. Tisolo touches down.
And the tackling from Brazil is just broken down a little bit. Offload out of the tackle. Ruby Tui popping up, knows where to be behind Portia Woodman. Is a good place to be. And in her 21st tournament on the HSBC Women's Sevens World Series. Dangerously close to the touchline. Look at that offloading skill from Fiji. That's what they're known for. Look out. Show and go. Rewires gathered. Look at this. This is beautiful to watch. Fijiana in full flight. And it will be Siata. Tackle 1 meter short, but look who's there. Ravisa. That is a great team try. That is Fijian rugby at its best.
Quick tap. And away New Zealand go. Tyler Nathan Wong over the halfway line. Abby Brown gives chase. Tyler Nathan Wong's going to pin her ears back and kick those legs for the corner. And she's going to get there. Quick thinking, even quicker feet. Tyler Nathan Wong, New Zealand. Chance for Brown to spread it to the left-hand side. Fleming calling for it on the outside. She's 1 try to her name already, looking for a second. Fleming for England. Is this going to be the match winner? Deborah Fleming gets her second try. 1 minute, 15 seconds left on the clock. That could be it.
And now they're lined up. They're backing themselves. Niall Williams, she was so impressive in their last match. She knows she's got a role to play. With the likes of Ruby Tui and Portia Woodman and Sarah Goss out there, she often finds a hole in the middle, as she did there.
So that was the opening pool stage action as we build towards the quarterfinals, and what a lineup we had here this morning. France taking on Ireland, Australia against Fiji, USA playing Canada, and New Zealand up against England. Let's have a look at how the games went.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs.
Well, Murphy Crowe hobbling out of your shot here, so really not many options for Ireland. And the hooters sounded, and the penalty will be given to the French. I wonder if this will just go off the field. There's no advantage of scoring more points in any points difference calculations. But as she's come off the bench, she thought, I'm going to have a go, says Pauline Biscarat. I've been waiting, watching this, and she gives it to Montserrat Amadi, who will add to her try-scoring haul from yesterday. And the final say goes to France and Montserrat Amadi.
Lima Sai to get us back underway. Race is on for this one again. Don't want to tackle in the air. Got the timing just right on that occasion. Australia, it's all about seeing this one out now, using the experience, and none more so than Charlotte Kaslik. Back to Cherry. It's all about holding on to possession here. Try would go down pretty well, I have to say. Tonigato stretching those legs. Emma Tonigato. She is lightning. You cannot but be impressed by the Australian number 5. It's another one for the weekend. Brings her tally to 7. And that will be that for Australia.
USA must score. It's all in the balance. Simple hands. Out the back door. There's Mbot. She squares it up, but a good tackle from Canada. They're going back. Heverland goes wide. Kelter. Big shift. Tapper in space. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous for Canadians. Tapper, that's what she does best. Goes around the corner to tie it up. Textbook finish from the Americans. So this kick to win the match. If not, we'll have extra time. Kelter, the strike, the kick, and the flag goes up. USA in the dying seconds have pulled it out of the bag and defeated Canada in their home tournament.
Did that come forward? Play on, says the referee. Advantage is now over. Brazier out to you-know-who. Portia Woodman against Fleming. Woodman, oh, she goes! She only needs a half cap, you know. Portia Woodman with the hat-trick for New Zealand. She is incredible. Yeah, she sure is. Portia Woodman sealing victory for New Zealand. And all of that meant our semi-final lineup was as follows. France taking on Australia. Was there an upset there? And USA against New Zealand. Let's see how it went. So this one to put Australia in front with 45 seconds on the clock. No problem. Hang on a second. My first instinct was that she actually had missed this. She has missed it. She has missed it. Incredible. Ball there for Dutoy. Kaslik. Politi, chance to stretch the legs. Across comes Biscara. I don't think she's going to catch her. She won't. Australia in for the winner. What about that?
Spill forward from US. There's options here. Grazier's unmarked. Oh, beautiful stepping from her. On the pace, the hair pull, not enough to stop her. And look who's there. Portia Woodman saw that her mate was in trouble. Portia Woodman helped out. Portia Woodman scores.
Just be very careful of the hair pull. They have played advantage there.
So, that was the semi-final highlights and two cracking games leading to the final, and the old enemies facing up later on. The match for 7th place will be Fiji against England. That's coming up very soon here at the Westhill Stadium in Langford, followed by the 5th place final, Ireland up against the host nation Canada, and the crowd sticking around to see that one. Before the bronze medal match, France up against USA for 3rd place overall in the competition, and the big one, the cup final and the gold medal, Australia against New Zealand. Familiar foes at this stage. Yeah, not long until the 7th World Cup in July in San Francisco. This is what teams are going to be playing for, the 2 trophies for the men's and women's event. And somebody who knows all about what it takes to compete and play in a World Cup is Maggie Alfonsi. And Maggie, we are very much looking forward to this tournament.
Oh, look, Hugh, I cannot wait. I competed in my first Rugby World Cup Sevens in 2009, and my England team came 5th, but it was an amazing environment. The competition, everything was intense, and to build up to that event, it was really hard because you don't realise that you've got to peak at the right time. And for us, look, I look back now and I think, oh, we missed out on trying to get gold, but at the same time, it was a memory that will always stick with me.
And the pressure, obviously, all the eyes of the world are going to be on the teams competing across the men's and the women's. It is the showpiece event, so you want to perform.
Oh, most definitely. It's an opportunity for players to show what they've done over the last 4 years to get to this point. And look, 2013 was the last one in Moscow, but I truly believe this is going to be another level. And we've seen over the World Series for both men and women, the standard of rugby has been fantastic. So I cannot wait.
Yeah, me too, I have to say. July in San Francisco. Tickets are selling fast. They're almost gone. If you want to be there, you've got to act quickly.
Well, I agree. I'll be down there, down the coast from here. In San Francisco at AT&T Park. No baseball that weekend. It'll all be rugby sevens. Now for the 7th, 8th place game. 2 teams that found a little bit of form on day 2 here. Their head-to-head has England leading 6-4. Couldn't quite pull it off. England losing 35 points to 12 to Canada earlier on today. And in their quarterfinal, Fiji lost to Australia. There they are, 2 big sides. Really impressed. Although she's on the bench, Tisolo, number 10, she's been rested, and Daveua is back, former Rookie of the Year. For England, lots of big, powerful runners to choose from, but Fleming has been dangerous on the outside. If England can get the ball to the edges early, Deborah Fleming will score some tries. Should be a good one here. This is the 7th, 8th place game here at Langford. I'm joined by current Canadian international Andrea Burke. Andrea, how's it feel down there? Pretty hot, isn't it?
It's a hot day in here. The teams coming out of the tunnel. This is going to be a battle here today, Garrett. Both teams coming off of big losses earlier. Fiji was a little bit scrappy and undisciplined versus Ireland. And Canada got their retribution against England. As a player and former player yourself, you know how hard, when you're coming off of a loss, how much you want to really make up for it.
Yeah, they'll want to make a statement here, but also their 6th game in 2 days in very hot conditions. England in their non-traditional, I'm going to say gray with neon and pink. England have provided that for us over the last few years. Great partners, Canterbury doing their job. Good to work with. And Fiji, of course, in their traditional white. England will be playing from right to left.
Fiji, ready?
Referee is Adam Jones, the Welshman in the middle, wearing his own dashing neon. So, off we go, England versus Fiji. Over the shoulder, gathered by Fiji. 3 players in the 5-meter channel. With 3 wide going into contact. Out wide from Nyambasala. She's back on after receiving a red card. Challenged, we believe, and she's available. Oh, the pass out the back door. Asinati Sabu saw something that no one else did, and the ball ends up in the stands.
She's passing it to the sideline, and the sideline just didn't have their hands up. It's a gimme there for England.
Have a look at this. The idea was right. They went forward in the end, so it will be a scrum. But hey, I guess you live and die by it. Fiji have been so impressive with their offloads here at the Canada Sevens. Sometimes it doesn't always go to plan.
And really, this is how you learn. You throw those, and then sooner or later, those offloads start to click.
England scrum ball. Fleming in the middle. Good hard cut from Vicky Fleetwood. She's been rewarded with a start here. Made a crucial tackle in the last game. Abby Brown stepping out. Abby Brown, try for England.
Well, Abby Brown just needed to do it herself. She is a strong captain. Vicky Fleetwood here does the hard work, keeps her feet, gets the extra yards, just a little bit of groundwork to keep the ball away from Fiji. Abby Brown, same thing, keeps the legs, looks for the offload, doesn't even need it, and decides, I'm going to take it myself.
5 points for the try, 2 added. As we said, England were very impressive. Only losing 17 points to 12. New Zealand, who are one of our finalists here at the Canada Sevens, really played some good rugby. Couldn't quite get over the hump in that one. And then went down quite badly to Canada, as you noted. But this is a much more positive start from them. Restart from Emily Scott. Naeem Basala. Fiji's so comfortable in space. Look at that footwork. 3 steps off the left foot, 4 steps. Now through the hands. Around the corner goes Sauto. Rongitha being first receiver. Options everywhere. Look at that strength, just stepping out of it, Rongitha. Quick hands, constantly asking questions of the English. Riwai dancing around. Davaiua, short ball, back on the left foot, under the post. Raigieri, Davaiua, try for Fiji.
Well, nothing urgent about it. Davaiua, big smile on her face. This is Fiji, just calm, collected, playing with the defense. Little bit of an offload there, and Davaiua just needs to stride it in. This is when Fiji's playing like this is a side that I wouldn't want to come up against as a player.
And a great dummy she threw there. Extra points added. Really nice Fijian contingent here. They were singing earlier during the break. A lot of Polynesian, Melanesian influence up here on the west coast of North America, and they support Sevens rugby up here, whether it's in Vegas on the men's stop or in Vancouver for the men's, or here indeed for women's Canada Sevens. You can't have Sevens without the Fijians. England now looking to respond. 7-all the score. Starting deep in their own end. Right across the field. Vicky Fleetwood again. Knows her role is to attract those Fijian defenders. 2-footed stop step from Emily Scott. She's still dancing. She's directing traffic. She wanted Fleetwood on her shoulder. She's got her on her shoulder. And not bad direction from Emily Scott. As Vicky Fleetwood will score for England.
Well, Gareth, that is why Vicky Fleetwood has the start in today's game. Emily Scott doing what she does best. She is such a commander on the field, just directing the traffic. And Vicky Fleetwood just totally impressing me today. Look at the work ethic, her legs, her speed, the gas that she still has in the tank at the end of this long tournament. She is one to watch for this game.
Good finish from her. Conversion, not good. So 5 points of difference, and look at that. It's hot out here. She's looking to the bench, but not going to get relief. She's been not summoned over to be replaced by a sub. Vicky Fleetwood will stay back in the game. Fijians earlier in the week were complaining that 15, 16 degree temperatures were too cold for them. They seem very comfortable in this hot weather. I think we're 25 degrees out there on the field. Fiji mounting the attack. Floated ball. Oh, sit down. Vicky Fleetwood. The urgency's just gone up here. There's hands in that ruck. In fact, England have won it.
Holding on.
Quick tap from Sarah McKenna. 10 meters out. Wide ball, and Vicky Fleetwood gets just desserts there. She was attacked viciously. She hung around, and her teammate McKenna quickly took the opportunity. So 2 tries in a minute for Fleetwood. This one after a crushing blow. Great recognition from Sarah McKenna.
Great quick tap and good pace. Fiji doesn't even have a chance to get back 10 for the penalty, and Vicky Fleetwood just rewarded, and maybe, you know, a little bit of comeback after getting sat down there.
Another kick under the post. So 30 seconds remaining. England, let's look at this. Bang! Nothing illegal about it, just a little bit high. Lost the ball backwards. But you've got to stay committed in those situations. Emily Scott to get us underway. It's a big kick. Is it too long? No, played and gathered in field. In fact, knocked into touch by Fiji. The hooter will sound.
Knock on into touch, scrum or line. Scrum called.
Good work. Adam Jones, our referee from Wales, communicating that it was actually knocked on, so they'll have the choice, England. And you heard the hooter. Heather Fisher and her team will have one extra play here after the hooter.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
England ball through McKenna's hands. Abby Brown swallowed up by white jersey. Now the wide ball. And that one deemed to be forward.
Half time.
That'll do it for the half. 10-point lead for England over Fiji. Andrew, you know what I'd like to film Baranovsky, the ever passionate Russian coach who screams and yells at his ladies at halftime, and compare that with Yesi Tanibule. So calm, so collected, the Fijian head coach.
Well, I think it's part of a coach's role to know what his players or her players would need at halftime. Sometimes it's the coach that needs to really come down on them, bring them up, get the energy and the emotions going, and sometimes it's just about calming them down, getting them to refocus.
Well, different ways of trying to get that achieved here. But Fiji will need a little bit more than they provided in that first half.
Fiji.
Giving up possession a bit too easily. Here we go, second half of the 7th-8th place game here at Canada Sevens. High hanging kick knocked on by Fiji. We'll have a scrum.
This from white, then by black. Scrum.
England
Black
ball. Emily Scott looking to put in.
Bind.
Options both sides of this scrum. Deborah Fleming, the first receiver, to the top of your screen, but it's loose ball. Fiji have stolen it. Good pressure at the scrum. Simple hands now. Taviua still on her feet. Finally presents it long, as the scrum halves want. Rangitha, watch out. She's not going to go easily. Look at those feet. She never gets put down by the first tackler. There's a big tackle from Lydia Thompson off the bench. Fiji 2 players lined up outright. Ravisa keeps it all the way. Tima Ravisa, try for Fiji. They're right back in this one.
This game is not over. There is plenty of time. Only a 5-point difference right now before the kick. Nice little offloads there. Good flat passes. And Ravisa just backs herself. Brings it all the way in. England has nothing to answer for.
Conversion to come. Sweet strike, more points. Riwai adds them. 17 points to 14, just 3 points in it. Lots of time left on the clock, as you say, Andrea. Although I think that's Rangitha. No, it's not Rangitha. Substitute coming off. Not quite sure who that was. Looked like she was hurting a little bit. Lost it in the sun momentarily, but did well to regather. There's Deborah Fleming. Back inside from Chantal Miel. Again, an English forward pass.
Well, I really like that offload. Just one hand out of contact. Fleming was in the absolute right place to receive that. England will have to battle back here to get the ball.
Stay high.
Rangitha puts it in. Fiji, ball in one arm for Daviua. She finally releases it. Oh, ball into space. And she's got it back. Daviua from 30 meters out. She's stepping all the way to the post. That's why she was Rookie of the Year. The netball career is not to be. It's now Rugby Sevens. And Daviua beautifully provided for with that ball in space. All she had to do was run onto it. This is how you take out 2 defenders, Andrea Burt.
Well, what England failed to do on their last phase, Fiji has nailed it. Daviua with the next try, playing the ball in open space, just so pleased with herself there. So interesting too, Garrett, that Vicky Fleetwood was such a strong starter for England. She's come off the field with a substitution, and since then, Fiji has really been able to get back in this game.
Back indeed, back in the lead, 19 points to 17. 3 minutes to go. All to play for here in the 7th, 8th place game. Valuable World Series points on the line.
Leave it white, no hands.
Good reaction to the referee's commands there. Fleming is free, finally. Deborah Fleming caught from behind. Beautiful offload. Emily Scott in a stunning position of support. Emily Scott will be rewarded for the effort supporting Deborah Fleming. Try for England.
England re-establishing their dominance in this game. Fleming, she has been waiting for this all day. I just love watching her run, and her offloads out of contact have been so great today. And Emily Scott just putting in the work to be there, to be right there for the offload.
It's always nice to be rewarded when you put the effort in, and she was able to get under the posts to keep that margin at 5 points for England. Fiji will need a try in the last 2 minutes here. Look at that fatigue. Hot conditions. Deborah Fleming will come off and get a rest.
This is where having depth on the bench can really be beneficial to get those fresh legs coming in.
Well, how about off the bench Heather Fisher, one of the best, coming in to finish this one. And that kick will go her way. She's steaming up at it. There's the tackle. And the Fiji will be penalized as they knocked it on, and then the ball was played in front of the knock-on.
That seems to get teams often on the kickoffs, especially when teams are lining up with a booster, and the ball just falls a little bit short of their hands.
So England stepping, dancing. Abby Brown almost free. Around the corner comes McKenna. And a beautiful dive pass up the left hand. One-on-one. Lydia Thompson, she gets it done. Just simply squaring up her opposite number. This is her first try only of the weekend. But with that kind of form, she's going to score a lot more. Watch as she just sets up the Fijian defender. Receives the nice left-handed pass.
Well, Lydia Thompson has made her mark for England, both 7s and 15s. She's one of those flyers who's really known for her speed. It's great to see her being rewarded with the tries. First try here this weekend for her.
The kick coming in. Wasn't good. So 10 points now with only seconds remaining. Got to credit England. They stuck at this. As we said, they played very well against New Zealand earlier today. They've shown some patches of real skill and real commitment for each other, just not able to string it together for long enough periods. Long kick, bobbled again by Fiji. The hooter sounds, but I'll tell you one thing, Fiji won't quit. This is about them expressing themselves. They've got some loyal supporters over there, and they want to put on a show right to the death. Into contact goes Riwai. Out of contact comes Riwai. She looked at the inside ball. Mayan Basili didn't get it. They're still playing. They're still passing, offloading. They're excited. Big, powerful running. Of course he didn't quit, and it's Toro Otto gets the ball back again. And you could have put your house on that, Andrea Burke, that Fiji still want to show people they can play sevens rugby.
Well, the fans are loving it in Langford, and that is a true team try. It's gone through so many of the hands, a lot of efforts with the run. Great offload again, just over the shoulder. Dots it down. Taruti.
And that'll do it. Great effort from both sides, but 29 points for England over Fiji with 24. Credit to the Fijian team as they lead this tournament. Really have improved so much over the last few years and showed lots of enterprise here at Canada Sevens. England win the 7th, 8th place match, 29 points to 24.
Yeah, tournament we're all very much looking forward to in July in San Francisco this summer. Now the World Series table going into Langford this weekend, and Australia on top with 56 points, 6 clear of New Zealand, who won out in Kitakyushu last time out. There will be a change in the top 5 with Russia finishing at the bottom of the table this weekend and France making it all the way to the semi-final. The points available, this is what is on offer. For the cup and gold medalists, it's 20 points silver, beaten finalists get 18, and the bronze medalists with 16. The 5th place final, which is coming up, on offer for either Ireland or Canada. As you can see, 12 points in the series and all the way down to 4 for the trophy winners, which this year was Spain. So let's get on with it then. It's game 32. It's the 5th place final, and it's Ireland taking on the host nation Canada. So that means we are going to have a hot crowd, noisy atmosphere in the Westhill Stadium, and Canada leading the head-to-head series between 10 matches played. They've won 9 of them. Ireland, of course, meeting in Kitakyushu and coming out on top. They did meet in the pool stages, and Charlie Williams' last gasp try denying Ireland a second consecutive victory. Let's look at the team sheets then, and for Ireland it's a pretty balanced side, I have to say. Hannah Tyrrell keeps her place from the last win against Fiji. Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe once again having to make do with a place on the bench. Canada, Pam Buisa comes in to get a start, Sarah Caljavi as well, and Ghislaine Landry captains the side. So, here we go then. For the last time, Canada take to the pitch in Langford in their home tournament 2018. Ireland once again the opponents. We had a belting game the last time. And a former Canada international sitting beside me, Andrea. If it's anything like the last time out, we're in for a treat here.
Well, the fans are on their feet. I think they're looking forward to that treat, if I can make a rhyme out of it. And it's great to see Pam Buisa on the field. She was such an impact player for Canada in the last game.
Ben Krause, the referee from South Africa. Did I say former international again? Am I still trying to retire you?
Everybody's using the F word with me this weekend. I'm starting to get a complex.
We're all doing our best to send you into retirement. It's not going to happen this weekend. Ireland to get us underway. Lucy Mulhall. High hanging kick to get the match underway. And Pam Buisa gets her first touch of the 5th place final here. Landry. It's Farrella on the outside. Nice handoff from Landry and delayed the pass beautifully. And Bianca Farrella, such a powerful runner. Across comes Stacey Flood. She got the legs to catch her. The answer is an emphatic no. Try for Canada. Bianca Farrella.
Great little high five and a thumbs up there. She knows that her captain did the work that Bianca needed to finish that pass. Ghislaine Landry receives the ball and just comes across the field on the Y line, absolutely sucks in Galvin as the outside defender, and Bianca Farrella is just completely up to her to stride it out and use the gas in the tank.
Yeah, just lethal when she gets that kind of ball. Conversion attempts, as you can see, drops short. So 5 points on the board. Canada off to the perfect start here in the Westhill Stadium.
Canada needs to stay focused here, because if anything they can be sure of, Ireland is going to be chomping back.
Landry kicks it down the left-hand side. Hannah Tyrrell's there for Ireland, tallest player in a green jersey, but you can't prevent Canada and Caljavi winning the ball back. Now Landry, try score. Oh, she's after another one, but this time the tackle goes in and Farrella dives with the ball. Landry once more out to Caljavi. Buisa. Nice strong hand as well. Still going. Buisa needs to be stopped. Tyrrell puts her down. Good technique. And then Hannah Darling takes the pass. Caljavi calling for it. Into the midfield they go. Landry ships one on. Here's the speedster Williams. Has Farrella on the outside. Couldn't get the pass away. Good tackle by Mulhall. Farrella keeps it alive. Back with Charlie Williams. Any room for her to go through? Another chop tackle. Caljavi, Buisa. Lovely hands by Canada. This would be a magnificent team try if it goes to the outside. Darling for the corner. Hannah Darling.
Sharing the love once again to her teammates. The crowd is loving this. Team try indeed. Charity Williams pins her ears back. Great tackle there by Ireland. Pam Buisa again looking for the gap. Not there. Hands to Molenski. Hannah Darling all the way in. This is how Canada can play when they're playing together and they're on form.
Superb team try. 10 points to nil with the conversion going right and wide. Ireland have barely touched the ball in 3 minutes of play.
There's a try score. You can see the little bit of purple in Hannah Darling's hair. That is an initiative that the Canadian women have done this weekend, dyeing their hair for cancer in support of Sarah Caljavi's mom, who passed away a couple years ago.
Nice touch. Buisa gets it. And Canada is searching for a third try. You wouldn't bet against them getting it either. Williams trying to step through the Irish cover defence. Ireland have not touched the ball yet. Buisa on the outside, Darling again. Keeps it alive. That went backwards, or did it? Forwards off an Irish hand.
So just a pass into the hand.
Nice little opportunity for Canada to reset here. A couple balls going to ground, just a little bit messy.
There you see it, came off an Irish hand. White call for the referee. Then Christ. Landry. Ferreira. Trying the direct approach to the try line. Couldn't get through, and now Ireland get the penalty. They might get some possession here. Mulhall. Stacey Flood. Tries the handoff. Offload was good to Galvin. Galvin drifting to the outside. Now a bit of space here for Audrey O'Flynn. Audrey O'Flynn pins the ears back and races into the corner. Ireland with their first real phase of possession, and they finish with a try to cut the gap to 5 with a conversion still to come.
Well, Audrey O'Flynn is awarded with the try, which came off of a 3-on-2 and maybe a little bit of a defensive error here. Buisa cuts in, leads her outside defender. She really needs to trust the inside defenders coming across to make that tackle, and Buisa really should be lined up on O'Flynn there.
Conversion attempt from the corner from Lucy Mulhall is going right and wide. So 10-5, the gap cut to just one try. 90 seconds to play at the end of the first half here. End-to-end stuff. Canada out of the blocks very quickly. Ireland hitting back though.
It just goes to show how dangerous Ireland can be ball in hand. Both teams, really.
Absolutely. Knock on, advantage be played to Ireland, and Stacey Flood has support on her outside shoulder. Maybe a little switch opportunity here. Flood trying to go all the way on her own. Went backwards, says the referee. Play on, Galvin trying to go around Bianca Ferrella, and she can't quite get there.
Get back.
Ireland recycle. Flood back on her feet. Tyrrell. Baxter took her eye off the ball. No advantage.
I'm playing it some advantage.
Scrum Canada.
Just play it. Doesn't be playing so well. Just play the advantage. Thank you.
And that's the defense that Canada should be a little bit happier about. They contain the outside edge very well and force the knock-on in the middle of the field.
Good send on.
So time off, just confirming substitution, and it's Eve Higgins who's going to come in. Louise Galvin making her way up. 30 seconds to play, end of the first half.
Crouch. Line. Sit.
Now, Canada trying to add to their tally early on. Mineski just running across the pitch. Managed to keep the ball. Caljavi in a scrum half. Options both sides, goes to her left. Dummy first time at Landry and then gets the pass away. Tackled by Flood. Caljavi into support. There's the hooter for half time. Last play for Canada at the end of this half. Trying to make more ground. Oh, away she goes again. It's all too easy. Bianca Ferrella gets her second try, and she is on fire.
Bianca Ferrella is finding her form. She's been injured for this last year. She's coming back, and she's just really starting to trust herself again. But the work that she has put in to come back from this injury is really starting to show, and her confidence is following her with it.
Conversion from underneath the post end should be a formality for someone of Ghislaine Landry's capabilities, and the extra 2 points good. So Canada, 3 tries on the board. Ireland with 1 in reply. It's Canada who lead by 17 points to 5 at the break.
Okay, here we go. 1.
2, 3. Hey, some excellent attack there, ladies.
Yeah.
And good defense, right? We just gotta, if we're under pressure, we just slide back off from the outside after we've come up, right, and connected, then we can back off if we're under a bit of pressure there. Right, keep up the good work. We gotta get there earlier, especially if there's a switch in the middle of the field, right? So wherever that fourth person is, you got to get there. The zero ball runner, anticipate where they're going, right? Get up from the ruck as the second person and look for work before you drop off, okay? In case it's back inside.
Yeah.
Okay? Hey, let's get back to what we do well, right? Game plan and finish strong, okay? Just one moment and then the next, okay?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Canada, keep composed.
Second half almost set to get underway. Landry to restart. Ireland looking to close a 12-point deficit.
That's good.
Landry goes left. Tyrrell underneath it. Safe hands for Ireland. And Flood out to Mulhall. Over the 22 she goes. Nice little jink as well. Delayed the pass perfectly for O'Flynn. One try in that first half and trying to back her pace on the outside. Watched and well marshalled by Caroline Crossley. And the ball's there for Flood. Higgins through the gap. Good powerful run, 10 on 10. In fact, it was Natasha Watson-Roy with 11 on her back who brought it down. Mulhall again. Ireland starting well here. O'Flynn comes back into contact. Trying to bounce off the tackle attempt of Landry, but has to release on the ground.
Great defense by Landry there.
Here comes the kick up the touchline. Almost took out one of the cameramen, and there it goes. Nice moving, guys. So line out to Canada. Clean take. Lovely take by Darling. Ball off the top. Nicholas with the pass on the outside. Watching Roy. Can't quite make the halfway line. Landry. Still there for Canada. Molesky. One on the outside. Darling trying to put the head down. Darling tackled. Molesky recycles. Landry. Nicholas skips away from the first tackle. Gets the offload away. Farella dives with the ball. Just shy of the Irish 22. Landry picks it off the base. Nowhere to go. Look for support. Molesky. Two outsider. Crossley calling for it and gets it. O'Flynn to put her down. Ball's still there. Nice hands will do it here. And maybe a hat-trick for Bianca Farella. Why not? Hat-trick hero.
There is no stopping Bianca Farella today. She is all over this pitch and all over the in goal. Great support here. I just love how composed Canada was. They weren't rushing anything. Bianca comes around with the loop and gets just put right into the gap.
So conversion goes between the posts and Canada stretch out to 24. Bianca Farella, her 8th try of the weekend. She leads the try scoring stats ahead of Michaela Bride and Emma Tonigato, who will meet in the final. Can she hang on to that title?
She might want to put a couple extra tries in on this game just to make sure she gets the separation that she needs from Blythe and Panagato.
Absolutely. Well, the Ireland have something to say about that. 24-5. They need a try, and they need one quickly here. Running out of time. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. And a free kick back in the halfway line. Opportunity here.
In the face of mistakes like this, the players on the field just really need to stay calm and confident in their defense. Pressuring the team, pressuring the attacking side, and forcing a turnover.
Tap from Flood. Mulhall runs a straight line, doesn't get the pass down. Hannah Terrell against Ferrella, stepping back inside. Two-handed grip. Mulhall once more calling for it. Baxter, two outsider. Hicaverd trying to do it all on her own. She's tackled. Mulhall. Flood, two outsider. Higgins on a nice decoy line, but Hannah Terrell's in a bit of space here. Hannah Terrell against Bianca Ferrella. Too quick Ferrella. Mulhall. Opportunity still there for Ireland. Baxter. Looping pass on the outside. Again, the defence from Canada rock solid at the moment. Mulhall. Tyrrell still down, so Ireland temporarily at least down to 6 players. Looks like she's winded from that tackle. Slowly back on her feet, but Ireland with 6 players. Hicaverd. No way through. Nicholas puts her down. Options both sides now. Mulhall goes to the left hand side. Higgins. Flood. Higgins trying to go all on her own. Nice little step on the outside of Ferrella. The tackle wasn't high, it was. Ferrella knew as soon as she went to hit it, and Stacey Flood might get to the line. She's 2 metres short. Ireland trying to close the gap. Go back for the penalty. The right call, there was no maliciousness involved, and Ferrella, as soon as she went to make the tackle, knew exactly what she'd done, so just a penalty. And Baxter to tap and go. Flood trying to go on her own, has supports. No, Hicaverd can't get there. Fitzhenry. Ireland trying to recycle. Forgot the ball. Chance to counter attack. Charity Williams with the length of the pitch the last time. If she gets the ball into her hand, she might fancy another pop. Here she goes. Charity Williams against Hannah Tyrrell. This is not a contest. Charity Williams over halfway, over 10. Tyrrell still giving chase. Williams is going to get there. Another length of the pitch score from Charity Williams. What a way to finish.
Charity Williams just being able to execute what Ireland wasn't able to do in the earlier stages, in the earlier goals. Look at this pace. I'm sure, Hugh, that they're getting tired of seeing the back of her jersey.
They must be, but you gotta just tip your hat and admire the finishing skill of Charity Williams for Canada.
And you called it yourself. Natasha Watcham-Roy receives the ball in the 22. All Charity needed was an early ball. Watcham-Roy was able to give it to her. Charity takes her defender to the outside, turns the corner, and there she's gone.
Stacey Flood limping off with an injury, so... Is it Flood has gone off?
One off. Number 3 off. 38. One off.
Ireland with too many players on the pitch at the moment. Sandra Flynn makes way. There's the final hooter. Ireland trying to finish with a score here. Have to settle for 6th place. Again, Canada haven't stopped. Another big hit from Williams. And she's going to try and wrestle the ball back. Canada still full of rugby here, but Ireland just about recycling possession. Taken into contact by Kathy Baker. And ball there for Baxter. Nika Verts back on her feet, allowed to do that. Baxter once more. Baker comes to this near side. Higgins wants to get on with it. Offside. Last play. Canada offside. Baxter to Mulhall. 3 outside her. Lucy Mulhall trying to go through the gap. Canada defence holding firm. Ireland still going forward though. And again want to recycle. Mulhall goes to the right hand side. Tyrrell seems to be okay after being winged, and Hannah Tyrrell wrong foots the defender, and Ireland will finish with a try. Hannah Tyrrell touches down. Really nice feet. And Ireland bring their tally to 10.
Hannah Tyrrell was shut down not once but twice by Bianca Furler, and she was not leaving this game until she got the try that she's been working so hard for. Inside, outside, back inside, takes out the defense and closes out this game.
So to finish off, Lucy Mulhall splits the post with a conversion. Ireland will settle for 6th place. By no means a disgrace of a performance, and 6th place in the tournament standings is a fair return for their efforts. Canada win the 5th place final. They finish on a victory. It's finished Ireland 12, Canada 29.
We're into the medal. We are into the medals. It's the bronze medal match. France and the United States. France leading this series 7-5 at the moment. They met in the pool matches here. France have been impressive in the last few weeks. Not quite getting it done in their semi-final where they lost to Australia 17 points to 12. Fanny Horta, key decision maker, but Amadi has been outstanding finishing for France. For the US, Kelter has been a force to be reckoned with, and Tapper, given any kind of space, has done very well on the edges. Bronze medal, always an interesting game. Maggie Alfonsi, World of Rugby Hall of Famer. Nice to get some hardware at the end of 2 days' hard work, isn't it?
Oh, always is, but this game coming up, France versus United States, it's going to be a physical match. Both these teams had a tough semi-final. France losing to Australia by a narrow margin, 12-17. And then United States also losing by sort of a bigger margin against New Zealand, 10-33.
Well, that stat there, France are capable of scoring lots of points, averaging 3.5 tries a game. US less than that. But as we've said, they're not far from home here. This is effectively their home tournament these days. Lots of support in the stands for them. Our referee is Amy Barrett-Teron, the South African. Great work from all our refereeing crew here up in Canada Sevens. Very little controversy. Well, referee tournament. It will be France in the white jerseys playing from left to right against the USA Eagles in the blue jerseys. Long kick. Tapper brought down. Kelter in the first receiver position. Good leg drive there. US have had a big physical presence. They've had a lot of success around it, and you can see how narrow they are. 4 or 5 players in that 15-meter channel. They're comfortable playing that kind of rugby. Quick pressure from Marjorie Mayans. She makes the tackle in the American backfield. No one, you heard, but she didn't stop, so it'll be a penalty to US.
Yeah, you can see France trying to be quite physical. Mayans trying to make those big hits, but she's got to be disciplined in this game.
USA on the attack. Jordan Gray, the 24-year-old, posted up. Tapper comes back on the short line. There's that fend. But up to it was Carolyn Drouin, a tough customer herself. France penalized again. Drouin over the ball. Referee saying she didn't release after the tackle.
Yeah, Drouin looked really strong over the ball there, but like you said, once the referee makes that call, you have to let go. And USA very confrontational at that breakdown area.
Olive Kelter choosing to kick downfield, giving the US a line out about 23 meters out. But how about Olive Kelter? She's been, in every sense of the word, kicking, tackling, directing traffic, and scoring tries. Really impressive weekend of work up here in Canada for her. US line out. That one's not straight. The wind is breezing up a little bit from left to right on your screens. It has increased a little bit, but not that much, I don't think.
I think it's also just the pressure that the French put in that line out. They've got some really good tall players, Mayans, who can really put pressure and stop USA getting an effective throw.
Yeah, in Jordan Gray, you can see on the left of that scrum, US have a big target. One of the largest players on the series. Right there on the left of your scrum, but they couldn't get that one right. France put in. It's lost, although cleaned up by Amadi at the back. Dancing out of one tackle, Bertrand. She's been a very good support player for the French team. Not a lot of the glory comes away, but she does a lot of graft, a lot of hard carries. Orta stepping out. Amadi going off the left hand, floats it a bit, but gets away with it. Now France released up to the near side. No support out there. She's isolated, but she fights to keep her feet, and the support arrives in the form of Caroline Bertrand. That one dropped out the back door. The Americans throwing themselves at it. Inside ball to Caroline Drouin. She's rewarded for her work. Caroline Drouin and France will get the first score here in the bronze medal match.
That try all came from working hard off the ball. France really worked that right-hand side, but it was just that inside pass, which is what they killed it with against USA there. Grassignon, the pocket rocket, slipped out of the tackle, but Amadine's got a lot of pace, but she sees that she's not going to make it and looking for Drouin back inside. And I think against USA, because USA come out and they fly to make that big hit, there's always that space back inside for that short pass.
Yeah, they thrive on those big hits, but you're rightfully so. It leaves a hole in the defense. Drouin been very involved here at the start. Not afraid of le combat, as they say in France. She's happy to take it on as well. So just a quick look at the clock. 15 seconds to get this ball in play. Amadi go off the right foot, and she kicks it long. Tapa gathers. Wayward pass, but look at Kelter. Footwork, strength. She regroups, lets her team come and support. Good shape from the French though in defense. Nothing offering there in the far touchline. Tapa first receiver. Kelter comes back, doesn't get it. And on a good line, Ave Gustadas, well, too good a line, I guess, because the pass was deemed forward.
Yeah, I was almost about to say it was a really good work there by USA, Carlisle. She lifted the ball up, floated it well. But Gustadas, unfortunately, in front of the ball, but...
Look at this little bit of fun off the ball. Whistle's gone, a little bit of a tap in the bum, and then, hey, what are you doing there?
Gary, tell me you weren't like that when you was a player.
No.
Tap on the bum.
The French and Americans, they're, I think I saw the White House last couple of weeks. They love each other. They're very close. Here we go. It's no love here. It's the bronze medal match. Coming off the line, Amadi, but the pass isn't good. Turnover, US ball. And sort of unusual on sevens, but the advantage hasn't accrued, so the US will have a scrum down.
Yeah, well, with the French, they're trying to get the ball out wide, but almost like they're running too flat and they're too far away from each other, so not getting that effective pass. But USA, when they get the ball, they're very clinical, and now it's for them. It's just actually how can they get Tapa into the game?
Yeah, I think so, and that's a matter of creating enough space, enough of an opportunity. She is a very much a player who switches on and off, whether that's a fitness factor. Ooh, immediate pressure through the middle from France. Fanny Orta causing all sorts of problems to the captain. In the end, it's Catherine Zachary who cleans up the mess. This is the wide ball. Then there's the fend. We said she needs some space. That was just enough. Naya Tapper, lethal on the edges, will get the first try for USA to level things up here in the bronze medal match.
And that's great work there by Tapper. She's absolutely knackered, having to run the whole length of the field. But as I said beforehand, they need to get the ball to Tapper because Tapper's got the pace, and you have to give the ball to her early as well, so she's got enough space to run in.
And she had just enough there, didn't she? The conversion is good.
Yeah, and also because France overcommitted that breakdown again, so they're not actually thinking about flying up. Instead, they're hanging back. And again, Tapper, when you give her a bit of space, she will always take it.
Well, they didn't actually give her the outside, did they? Dina Garan gave her the inside, and she took it. So, a narrow lead for USA at halftime. 7 points to 5 over France.
Continuer ce qu'on fait, bien soigner nos ciblages. Quand elles se sont serrées, ça sert à rien qu'on laisse des espaces, au contraire, elles sont comme ça. D'accord? Coco, juste garde bien dans ton rétroviseur. Il faut juste voir large. D'accord? Offensivement, c'est très bien ce qu'on fait. Jouons juste simple et croyons vraiment en ce qu'on fait. D'accord? Pareil, reste à hauteur. Juste ça, s'appliquer sur les coups d'envoi. Écoutez-moi, 7 minutes pour leur coller un rythme qu'elles ne peuvent pas tenir. 7 minutes pour leur coller un rythme qu'elles ne peuvent pas tenir. D'accord? Allez.
On reçoit. Allez, les bleus, allez. Elles sont fortes, les filles. Du rythme, allez, les filles, allez. On fait la bague.
So, Gareth, you've got very good French understanding there. What did he say?
Well, Seth Manuti said several times, meaning, I think, stressing to his tired players, we've only got 7 minutes to go, that he stay together. Coller, I believe he said, means stick together. So, one of a good sevens brain, David Courtois, the French coach.
It's interesting that he raised that point, stick together, because I think it's mainly in their defence. They need to stay connected because they're losing a little bit, and actually they're creating those opportunities for people like Tapper to run through and create those half gaps.
Yeah, that is where you tend to suffer when bodies get tired, or one portion of the line gets more tired than another. The bronze medal match new since the Olympics. So a lot to play for. World Series points to play for as well. US and France very much in the balance here. US to restart. Gathered well by Drouin. Oh, a nice offload, just a little bit low. The idea was right, and claiming it was off her foot was my aunt.
Do you know, I love when players take those risks and give it a go, like Drouin there. She takes the ball in, she looks for that little behind the pass offload. But sometimes in situations like that, it's best just to probably reset it again and then play off it.
Yeah, she's really playing with confidence. Drouin. USA with Ryan Carlisle right behind the scrum. She hits the midfield. Danger woman, Kelter. Still on her feet, still going. She is a beast when it comes to running hard with the ball. Options for the US. Taken in by Heverland. Kelter now stepping out again, realizing there was nothing on out wide. Causing her team to regroup. Gustavus. 5 meters out now, US pressing, pounding, looking both sides. Kelter gets hit in the knees, fends off up top. Now finally brought down. This has got to create the opportunity for her teammates, and it does. Catherine Zachary, try for USA.
That try was physical contact all the way. Almost looked like something you see from American football. USA do so well in being strong in that contact. They recycle the ball, but they also look to just take the route one and just go forward. And actually, that's what's been really good, because France are trying to run out wide and leaving that inside space open.
Well, how many French women had to deal with out of Kelter there? And in the end, they just didn't have enough to mark Zachary.
It's quite good to have players like Liv Kelter because she sucks in so many people because she's such a threat. Same like Taka as well. You know, those players, they commit players, and then as a result of that, again, it leaves all these opportunities for everyone else like Zachary to get onto the scoreboard.
Well, that's a reflection of her effort. Leading point scorer here at Canada Sevens in Langford this weekend. Duran takes this one for herself. Quick ruck. Substitute on the field for the French is Anne-Cécile Chiafani. She's been a very successful substitute, scoring several key tries in day one. That time penalised for not releasing.
Yeah, almost showed her lack of sevens knowledge there. She just, when she got tackled, she needs to release the ball as well. And there she just kept on, went for an extra roll, and gave the ball now back to USA.
And the US showing a little bit more composure than they did at times yesterday, slowing it down, knowing they're in command. A 9-point lead. Penalty awarded. Happy to kick. Really not looking for territory as you might in a 15s game, but just wanting to slow the game down and allow your team to restart from a set piece where you know you've got 3 of their defenders in the lineup.
I'll say one of the things that USA have got better at is actually closing out games. So now less frantic towards the end of the game, where before they used to pretty much try and throw everything at it, and as a result of that, take these huge risks and then lose the game. But now they're more composed and a bit more smart about how they play it.
And France throwing fresh legs at it. Chloe Pell and Pauline Biscara on the field, looking for something in this last 3.5 minutes. Tap ball, it's loose for the moment. Gathered by US. Ryan Carlisle hits Kelter. Kelter's almost like she's looking for French defenders to engage, because an open American is usually the result. Big fend off from Kayla Canutt. She's on the field. Now it goes wide. Haka running across the field. Ball in that one arm. She gives it. Is it early enough for Ryan Carlisle? She takes the outside. She doesn't get it all though. Good defense. And holding on to the ball is the call against the USA. France alive still.
Yeah, great effort there. Great tackle by Chiafani. She almost got the ball, well, almost got taken on the outside of her, but such tall, long arms that she can make that tackle.
This time, France, look at that. There's the reach. And the diminutive Ryan Carlisle just doesn't have enough support to hold on.
Quicker. Substitution White.
And it will be the US now getting some fresh legs into the match. And on Jessie Tremoulière for France. So perhaps surprisingly, they took the line out and decided to slow the game down. France, they need 2 scores. They need them quickly here in the bronze medal match. Around the corner goes Chiafani. She gets to the halfway line. France still alive and kicking. Ball's loose, but secured. It's been knocked on. The referee wanted a little bit of help. Well, she got help from the players in the end, because a much more obvious knock-on coming from France.
Yeah, an error there from France, but big physical contact coming in from USA. Just some big tackles, and I think what's been interesting to see is the way that the USA in particular, they just come out of the blocks and they try and slow oppositions down.
We do have an injured French player down just to the right of your screen, so US sprint in to regroup. Waters on the field. French players just guilty of spilling that ball. They're not able to put pressure on.
I've got a late and dangerous tackle. Yeah. But I didn't get a number.
Chat coming in for the referee here. Let's listen in.
We're going to restart with a penalty over there.
Okay.
I think she's identified a late and dangerous tackle, although no number coming in. I'm not sure if this is where the injured player emanated from. On the field, it is Montserrat Amadi. The referee's going to come over and have a talk to the American huddle here. I don't know if she spotted someone or her and the assistant official has.
Might see a card here.
Good applause from the crowd. Amadi on her feet.
So we've got a late and dangerous tackle. We're going to restart with a penalty. No scrum, it's a penalty. Hey, penalty!
Okay, so France with 2 minutes to play.
Tackle over here. Okay.
We'll have a penalty.
You almost feel like USA got away with it there because she didn't find the number.
Yeah.
There's no one to give a possible card to, but
Okay, time back on.
USA have a lifeline there.
Dangerous tackle.
So again, the kick to touch for France. They need 2 scores. It will be their line out. Didn't see the incident. It must have been clear, and it sounds like it may have been after the play, after the knock-on. France line out, Graciano to go up in the middle. She's got it. And once again, French skills letting them down.
Yeah, I think Amadine was the one who knocked on previously, and she knows that the USA are going to come flying out of the blocks, and if anything, she's looking at what's in front of her rather than going for that ball.
Yeah, Drouin will come on the field indeed. It's been recognized. Amadine, who's had an amazing tournament. Amazing couple of weeks, to be fair, down in Japan prior to this. Just not going away in the last couple of minutes with a couple of knock-ons, but wonderful tournament for Montserrat Amadine. U.S. now really just trying to run down this clock. They've got a 14 points to 5 lead. Tapa doing her job, immediate support there. She's held up for the moment, but she does get down. Ball moved away by Buenapane. This is smart rugby from the U.S. They're just hitting rucks and getting lots of support around the ball, and the whole while the clock is ticking down, they're getting closer to that bronze medal. Kelter, good pickup from her toes, and she's found a hole right through the middle. This is probably fitting. Alev Kelter has gone 70 meters and put the USA on her back, as she's done for the whole weekend.
Alev Kelter, number 1, yes she is. She has led USA today. She's been central to the way they've attacked. Like a speed skater on ice, she sliced her way through the French defence, and with her pace and strength, the French have no place to get back to make that tackle. There was no sweeper there, and she spotted the opportunity.
Well, fiercely proud. And she'll be proud with her teammates in just a few seconds to secure the bronze medal, the 2018 Canada Sevens. The hooter sounds. The ball will be reintroduced into play.
Lev Kelter's always got a few bruises on her faces for her efforts today, but she's been absolutely fantastic over the weekend and a true leader for USA.
10 seconds, let's go.
Also one of the top tacklers, so she really does it in every facet of the game. Former soccer player and ice hockey player. That one's gone too long. She's made a mistake there. We'll give France one last chance to play, really just for pride at this moment. The bronze medal is out of their reach.
We talk a little bit about Alev Kelter being absolutely fantastic, not making any mistakes, and it's always the commentator's curse who makes one mistake to end the game.
Never say die. France keeping it alive. Off the bench, that is coming out. Penalty U.S. As the ball was played on the ground, that will allow Alev Kelter the luxury of tapping it and kicking it off the field. And she will do that. USA wins the bronze medal over France. Final score in this one, 21 points to the U.S., only 5 for France.
Guys, gotta go quick, we've got teams coming on, we're a bit messy.
So here we go then. The final game of a superb Rugby Sevens weekend in Canada. Once again, it'll be the two top sides on the women's circuit going head-to-head for the title here in Langford. Head-to-head reads like this. This will be the 20th time they've met in the series. New Zealand lead 11-8 so far. The last met in Kinakyushu in the Cup semi-final. New Zealand getting the better of Australia. In Cup finals, New Zealand have won 7 times, with Australia coming out on top on 4 occasions. But all that goes out the window in the head-to-head. There are the starting teams. And as you can see, Sarah Goss captain for New Zealand, Shannon Parry captain for Australia. You've got Hayes, Politi, Tony Gatto, Kaslik, Sykes and Sherry for the Aussies. Tui, Woodman, Williams, Blythe, Nathan Wong and Brazier starting for New Zealand. They are the two best sides in the circuit. They've proved that time after time. And here comes the match ball for the final. The referee wouldn't give that try. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. We're all set, and here we go. Australia against New Zealand in the Langford sunshine at West Hill Stadium here, capping off what has been truly a memorable weekend of Sevens rugby. Some brilliant tries, fascinating matchups over the course of the last 2 days, and the teams come out and line up for their respective national anthems. We'll have Australia first, followed by New Zealand, before play gets underway. Always a special moment for the teams. And it's great to see the crowd has stayed behind
right now,
to give them the proper send-off.
Please stand if you're able to. Remove your hats and caps for the national anthems of Australia and New Zealand.
So the national anthems, and we are ready to go for the final here in Langford. Game 34. Maggie Alfonsi beside me. We've had some brilliant matchups, and we're expecting, as is always the case with these two meet, another one right here.
This is going to be a belter of a match, and for those people watching this game at home, be prepared to be entertained, because both teams have had a tough challenge getting to this final, and it's not been easy for them, and both of them in the semi-finals as well got tested. So I'm so looking forward to this, and Sarah Cox there being the referee, she's going to pull on and manage a really well entertaining game.
Yeah, no more experienced referee than Sarah Cox on the 7th circuit, and it'll be New Zealand to get us underway. 7 on the back, Tyler Nathan Wong. 14 minutes to decide our champions here in Langford in Canada. Nathan Wong goes down the right hand side, meant for Portia Woodman to get up there and chase, and almost worked out for her as well, but Shannon Parry first to react for Australia. Squirts out the side. Sykes having to relieve a bit of pressure. Kaslik out to Cherry, back to Kaslik, and that centre role that she employs so well. New Zealand get turnover ball. Nathan Wong back to Tui. Little bit of room for her. Portia Woodman well marshalled, I'm sure. Aussies know all about her try scoring capability. She has 15 tries against Australia. Nathan Wong, left they go. Brazier, Kelly Brazier, nice quick feet to accelerate past the first defender. The ball should still be there. It is. Niall Williams passing it off the deck to Tui. Sarah Goss in the midfield. Again, New Zealand patient build up, using numbers to try and create an overlap. And Tui's done really well. Can she get the pass away to Woodman? No, she can't. But she does win a penalty. Quick tap and go, and Sarah Goss, Australia, letting her go. Nathan Wong, left hand side, Williams. Michaela Blythe using those quick feet. Back to Blythe. Nathan Wong to Goss and Tui. Portia Woodman yet to touch the ball. Now she might get it. She does. Beautiful play by Ruby Tui. And the master finisher, Portia Woodman, goes all the way underneath the post. And I say 15 tries, make it 1-6, 16 against the Aussies.
Portia Woodman, the sensational athlete who always scores tries. But it all really came from New Zealand's work to be patient on the ball, and Ruby Tui was instrumental in that whole phase of play there. She committed 2 players, which meant that players were sucked in, and there was space out wide there for Portia Woodman.
Portia Woodman fires New Zealand in front. Conversion is successful. 7 points to 0. New Zealand strike first in the final here in Langford.
What's good in New Zealand, they are so patient. They'll get to work it from side to side, just waiting for those opportunities, those cracks in the Australian defence to open up.
2.5 minutes, the first crack appears, and Nathan Wong once again to put the high hanging ball for her teammates to chase. This time she goes left, varying it up a bit, but Polite couldn't hold it. Did it come off her hands? I think it did.
Who's ball?
New Zealand get the putter to the line out.
Nathan Wong is so good with those restarts. She always drops it just on the right line, trying to get Blythe or Woodman into the game, but she's so technically spot on with her kicks.
Yeah, it's all about repetition, isn't it? And practice over and over and over again. 10,000 hours rule. Ball off the chop to use for New Zealand. Brazier, 2 outsider. Now Williams. Michaela Blythe drifting to the outside channel. Comes back inside. Blythe to Brazier. Ball's going to pop loose. Nathan Wong has it. And it's another 3-on-2 overlap if Tui can get the ball out wide. Australia had to come in and make that tackle. Had to break the defensive line. Otherwise they were caught on that far side. Nathan Wong goes back to the left-hand side. Portia Woodman tries to defend. Not a bad one, and then gets the pass away to Tui. Tui for the corner. Ruby Tui for New Zealand. Try given. What a finish.
Tui, yes. She's been out of the New Zealand side because she's recovering back from illness, and she's come back and she's been hungry for some tries and some rugby, but it all came from Woodman, giving that great offload there. and 2, still had lots of work to go. She had to shrug off a tackle. And what strength, she just about goes in there for a second effort. Great try.
Conversion attempts, not a million miles away at all, but the flag stays down. So 12 points to 0, New Zealand. The winners in Kitakyushu in Japan after playing second fiddle to Australia in Sydney when they were thumped by 31 points to 0. They did bounce back to win the Commonwealth Games. And they are 12 points clear against Australia here. They have the edge in the head-to-heads in both cup finals and in meetings across the series itself. Nathan Wong again is going to hang this. Look at the accuracy to get 10 metres. This time Australia get possession back. Can they do something with it? New Zealand have dominated the ball for the last 3 minutes or so. And they have a penalty. Aussies not releasing on the ground.
Niall Williams has done that several times in this game so far. She's gone in that breakdown and she's so strong over the ball. So Australia have to really work hard to make sure they get that second player in to clear out or to centre over the ball. But Niall Williams is such a physical athlete, not just as a runner, but when she gets in the breakdown, she's hard to move.
Brazier. To Tui. Again skips away from the first tackle and Ruby Tui into the 22. That was high. Advantage being played. It's a shot to nothing. Quick tap and go. Brazier wasting no time, trying to power her way over the line. It's 3 tries for New Zealand. Kelly Brazier doesn't waste a second.
That's quick reaction there from Brazier. She saw that Australia was still hesitating, were caught off foot there. But it's just that quick tap just to go and just think, right, I've got to back myself. The opportunity's there. See the space open up. Australia still trying to work themselves back, not in the right defensive shape. And she's such an experienced player. She knows how to manipulate a defence.
No joy with that conversion. Kelly Brazier, so experienced, as Maggie was saying. 17-0, 40 seconds to play. New Zealand almost out of sight in the first half. Australia need to get in and get a team talk here and get themselves set because they've been blitzed by New Zealand.
Get up tight.
Cherry underneath the restart. Clean take this time. No room for Australia to go. Kaslik presenting it back and try and shift this ball if they can. Get out of their own half. Be a decent start. Cherry again takes the tackle. Kaslik to Shannon Parry. Nice little loop from Kaslik as well. Lovely hand. Sykes looks for Tony Gallo back inside. Emma Tony Gallo trying to go through. That was an important tackle. Australia, if they can finish with a try, they give themselves a lifeline here. They don't release. New Zealand, quick tap, and Sarah Goss wants to keep going. Pass on the outside to Portia Woodman. Woodman trying to go around the outside. She gets her second of the final. What a performance.
Oh, and she does it again. But it was from the efforts of her teammates there. Sarah Goss was instrumental in the breakdown. She makes turnover, she goes for a quick tap, and she sees that she hasn't got the pace to go herself, so she sees Portia Woodman out there, out wide, and she just cleans away Sykes there.
2 tries for Portia Woodman. She's just clinical, and the conversion attempt goes to the right and wide. Half-time whistle has gone. There's only been one team in this, and they're dressed all in black. New Zealand leading Australia by 22 points to 0.
Just hold that ball. We've got to work harder at that attack seal. They're getting away with Bloomer at the breakdown, so be it. Take them out of the game. Take the referee out of the game. Clean out. Get rid of their bloody person over the ball. Okay, carry. All right, back to your feet. All right, back to your feet with that ball and go from there. If they're going to be behind us, we can be in front of them.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to go. We score next. We score next. We score next. Yep. Composure with the ball. Okay. All right, defence, connect that line. Okay. No more points for them. We keep them scores. We'll win the game. Okay.
Just on that A17 defence, we're hitting in. So don't be afraid to chase hard, and we will have you back. If we need to jam, we will jam like a 61, okay? Yeah. Go. Show on 3, 1, 2, 3, show! Come on, go hard.
Just listening in there in the Australian huddle. Cherry was talking a little bit about the whole don't push too hard, because if you push too hard, you're going to let people like Portia Woodman, who scored 178 tries in her career. If you let her get any space by pushing hard, you're just going to give her the opportunities to get in for a try. So they've got to be really smart and be patient and hang off a little bit and then go for her.
So she needs 22 to hit 200, right? We've got France to come, obviously, Paris in the season finale. She could add maybe 10 tries there. That hasn't too much. And then over in San Francisco for the World Cup in July, she could break the 200 mark. Wouldn't that be the dream scenario? That's a long way away though, and the kick for Australia went out in the fall. It's just not happening for them at the moment.
Just errors after errors, and you know that just adds up, and it also knocks your confidence a little bit, because you give the ball back to New Zealand and they have a bit of possession and they always capitalise with it. So another opportunity to stretch the legs here and test out the Australia defence. Brazier, Goss. Look at the lines of running from New Zealand. It's when what they do when they don't have the ball that's so impressive, because it sucks in the cover. It's now Williams chances her arm and gets through the Australia cover. Williams dives to the ground, touches down, and well, we thought 31-0 in Sydney was an impressive scoreline. New Zealand are just tearing Australia apart here. New Zealand are on fire. And it all came from the work in the middle from Brazier and then Goss as well. And then again, that sucked in people like Parry there, because Parry came in, and then by the time she came back out again, Niall Williams had got around her. All she could do was get one arm to her.
Nathan Wong to make it 29. Well, flag stays down. Australia just cannot get the ball. And when they do have it, they lose it almost instantly, and New Zealand punish them.
I think that just shows the class of New Zealand as well, because when they get the ball, they don't panic. They take their time, they're very composed, like we've seen here with the restart, and when they execute, they really do fire.
118 tries for New Zealand in the series so far. Nathan Wong hangs one up in the air, and it's taken by Yasmin Meeks, who's just on the pitch. Polite fires one out to Kaslik. Can they get something going, Australia? Demi Hayes dumped on the ground. New Zealand offside, and Kaslik is going to have a go over the 10-metre line. A quick hands from Tonegato. Did it go forward? It did. New Zealand equally as good in defence as they have been in attack.
And again, we talk about Australia's possession. They have the ball, they have this opportunity, and it's just that final pass. But again, you've got to applaud the way New Zealand are playing. They're really putting pressure on Australia and not allowing players like Tonegato to get into the game.
Tanika Willison is coming in.
She's coming.
And Nathan Wong goes off. Fresh legs from Tyler Nathan Wong. Energy sapping stuff over the last 2 days for all teams involved. Professional athletes though, that's what you expect.
We need to set this straight properly. You keep solid, that goes in through the middle. Yep.
Like Coxie, she's a very firm referee, had a birthday during the week, and she's also a mean golfer as well, did you know?
I did not know that.
Yeah, you could have been professional.
Really? Well, okay. I won't challenge her to a game tomorrow, so. Niall Williams pass on the outside to Michaela Blythe. Having to play second fiddle to Portia Woodman in the final here. Willison, first touch for her, behind the back pass. Brazier again has one on the outside. Now Williams cutting back inside, looking for her second. It's all too easy for New Zealand. This is one of the great final performances that we've seen on the women's series.
Niall Williams does it again. She adds another try to her tally there. But it's just great work initially by Brazier, because Brazier takes the ball all the way to the edge. She does a perfect late drop. And a perfect late drop is when you commit as many Aussie players to one side. And it meant that there's massive space opened up wide there for Williams to run through.
No mistake with the conversion Before this, Australia's heaviest ever defeat to New Zealand was in Las Vegas when they lost 28 points to 5. New Zealand have surpassed that total and they're on track for a record margin of victory against Australia. That's how impressive this performance has been.
And I think at the moment this is the most points they've ever scored against Australia, so 34-0 is pretty impressive.
28-5 the previous record for New Zealand against Australia. 34-0, and this is just an annihilation. Cherry to Kaslik. Cherry once more, trying to go through the gap. Who puts her down? Only Portia Woodman. Again, ball slapped forwards. Was it deliberate?
That's my fault. It was in the tackle. It's the knock on.
I think Fitzpatrick there was quite lucky. But you feel with Australia, they're also going through this change. We all know that it's the era after Tim Walsh, and obviously they haven't got certain players like Elliot Green as well. So this team, they're not necessarily rebuilding, but they're trying to bring their young talent through, and they're only going to get exposure by being in these finals and learning how to take on the big sides like New Zealand.
It's been a very impressive performance.
Okay, time on. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scrum Australia. Completely missing with the pass, and Kaslik has to go back to her own 5-metre line, looking for the switch in the middle. Tony Gallo running out of options there, has to make a bit of room on the left-hand side. Back to Kaslik. Kaslik switching direction, and off she goes. Can't get away from the clutches of Tanika Willison as we approach 90 seconds to go. Penalty New Zealand. Are they going to add to the tally? Are they going to make it even more of a humiliation for Australia? Willison, little dummy. This has been just a complete performance by New Zealand, start to finish. Quick tap and go. Sarah Goss, the captain, trying to bash her way over the line. It's another try. 39. The records have been shattered here in Langford in this final.
Sarah Goss is the captain with it all. She's done this several times in the tournament. She goes for that quick tap behind the ruck. She waits until the team in front of her are just hesitant, and there she goes. She knocks Fredericks down. Sit down. I'm going to the try line.
Conversion attempt from Tanika Willison is left and wide with 30 seconds to play. New Zealand 39 points to 0. Australia are going to be having nightmares about this for a long time. And Paris, it sets it up nicely for a season finale in France next month. But on the basis of this performance, New Zealand, if they can continue, are going to be very difficult to stop. High hanging ball from Willison for Woodman, who took one on the back. In fact, it wasn't. It was Shakira Baker who landed pretty awkwardly. There's the full-time hooter. Have we got time for one last play? Australia, well, they don't want to be whitewashed. Surely they have to manage one score. Dominic Dutoy onto the wing.
Bind. Set.
Kaslik, no room to move. Again, the ball goes loose, and again, Australia in all kinds of trouble. Forced back inside their own 22. Look at New Zealand, still plenty of tackling and running. Kaslik dives with the ball. Ball kicked through. Brazier dives on it. It's another New Zealand try. They finish with a score. This, Maggie Afonso, is an emphatic victory.
I said this was going to be a belt of a match, and I tell you, New Zealand have really stepped up in this game, and Brazier has led that as well. She is an absolute beast in the tackle there. She comes in, she waits for the opportunity for the ball to be out, and just smart play for her, just to kick it through and then to land on it.
Willison with the last say in the final in Langford. Between the posts, 46, count them, 46 points to 0. What a win for New Zealand. Australia are shell-shocked.
great to see the celebrations there from New Zealand. You know, they've been really consistent the whole entire tournament. They brushed off USA in the semi-finals, and they just took it to another level in the final.
Well, there's nothing you can say to that. A right smile from Charlotte Caslick. She knows her team have been well beaten today. New Zealand congratulating each other. Niall Williams, what a tournament she's had here in Langford. Portia Woodman again. Another huge performance on day 2 for her, when she was a little bit quieter than we expect on day 1 with just 1 try yesterday. But nothing Australia can say. They can have no complaints. The emphatic manner of the victory really laying down a marker in this World Series this season.
And when you talk about New Zealand, you really do think it's a team effort. Like, every single one of them put the effort in to win this tournament. Well, I think the challenge for Australia, they're relying on certain individuals to really step up, and there's a lot of pressure on Caslick in particular.
Yeah, I mean, you can point to the fact that Elliot Green isn't in the squad and Alicia Quirk, but Australia have plenty of talent out there. They were just second best today. Look at that. 46-0. 4 tackles for Niall Williams. Australia spent the majority of the game without the ball, and if you don't have the ball, it's very difficult to score tries.
I think there's no line breaks at all from Australia, which is a really rare thing to see on the stats. But Woodman and Goss, I mean, their carries 4 each. They were so solid today, and they kept New Zealand in the game throughout.
So preparations getting underway to anoint the champions in Langford. Australia deep in conversation, because I'm sure a few home truths when they look back on the video sessions of this game just didn't turn up in the final. Back-to-back wins at the start of the season in Dubai and then in Sydney, but New Zealand have turned it around, and we'll have a look at the final series table in a few minutes time. But certainly Australia won't fancy watching that one back, because they just didn't turn up.
I think it's been hard for Australia in particular, you know. I think from Commonwealth Games and then after that, and since Tim Walsh has left, they've just gone almost slightly backwards. And they've got young talent though, and they are going to come through, and Paris is going to be quite interesting to see how they come back. Back.
Disappointing for Australia, but New Zealand the champions. Let's go down to Gareth Rees. He's down at the sideline with an interview for us.
Sarah Goss, you didn't get the chance to play in this tournament last year, but a resounding victory for your New Zealand team. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just really proud of the girls. We put in a lot of effort, and obviously been on the road for a long time, so really stoked with the result and happy to be heading back for some recovery.
And a win over your arch rivals, Australia. It's been a tough month, Con Games, a big month for New Zealand rugby. You got to be proud of the Black Ferns.
Oh, extremely proud of them, but a credit to Australia. They're an amazing team. We love playing them, and it just shows how amazing women's rugby is at the moment.
Congratulations. How about a big hand for Sarah Goss, captain of the New Zealand Black Ferns.
So a happy captain Sarah Goss there.
Oh, she was phenomenal in that final there. Her work rate at the breakdown to steal the ball, but also her reaction to do the quick taps as well to get a couple of tries herself.
Okay, player of the final is with Gareth. I wonder who it is.
Portia Woodman, congratulations. You are the 2018 Canada Sevens player of the final.
I didn't expect that. You know, the girls do so much work with giving me totes and lots of space out wide.
Well, lots of work inside. As you said, so many weapons on your team. What was the key to putting up a big score like that against Australia?
I think if you hold on to the ball, you're going to score more tries. So I think that was our biggest thing going into this final.
Good stuff. And how's it been here in Langford, Canada Sevens 2018? The first time you've lifted the cup here.
Loved it. Always loved coming back to Canada. The people are awesome.
Portia Woodman, your 2018 player of the final.
Totes awesome, Portia Woodman.
I think she's just a little bit tired there, mixing up her words.
Hey, listen, it's been a long weekend. It's been a long month. Commonwealth Games, a lot of travelling. You can hear Sarah Goss there talking about how much they're looking forward to getting back to New Zealand and doing a bit of recovery as well.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really appreciate how hard these players work, not just when they're here at the tournaments, but behind the scenes, back at home. They're always training, having to make sure they recover, and it's such a professional environment, so it's really tiring for the players.
All right, quick word on the USA then, because they put in some really brilliant performances over the course of the last 2 days. A little bit unlucky to come unstuck in that semi-final, but you can see the work that Rich Walker's putting in with them. They are serious athletes.
Serious athletes, but also they're becoming much more smarter with rugby, and you can starting to see it now. They're taking opportunities when they present themselves, and they're also becoming much more physical. You notice that when they played against New Zealand, and they're one side which I can only feel that they're going to get better come San Francisco for the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely decision making on the pitch as well. You can see the training is paying off, and who knows if they find one or two more in the vein of Naya Tapper or Alef Kelter, they will be a force to be reckoned with. The United States of America, bronze medal winners after victory in the bronze medal playoff over France last time out. Well deserved. Silver medal then, Australia, not what they came for, but they can be proud of their performances again up to the final. And in truth, you know, New Zealand were just so good. It's not that Australia didn't turn up or anything, they were just completely outplayed.
Yeah, you know, you always say that certain teams, it's their game on the day, and for New Zealand, they just looked like they were on fire. And I think once Portia Woodman went over for that first try, it just got better for them, didn't it, really? And for Australia, they still should applaud their efforts. They've had a very good weekend. Again, they've got some young talent who are only going to get better with your Hayes, your Sykes. So the next tournament is their next focus.
So last of the medals handed out, Emma Tony Gatto picks up the silver medal and leaves stage right. But here we are, the champions in Langford. Back to back on the 7 series. Kitakyushu in Japan, Langford in Canada, New Zealand up to take their medals. The official presentation party of Lisa Dalziel, branch manager of HSBC Canada, Alan Vanson, chief executive of Rugby Canada, and the Honourable Mitzi Dean, Parliamentary Secretary for Gender Equality, handing out the gold medals.
It's great to see Tui get a medal there. You know, we talked about before her missing the Commonwealth Games and missing Kitakyushu because of an illness, and she's just been a phenomenal player throughout the whole entire weekend, just showing her hunger, wanted to get down to every breakdown, and also just working hard to keep her other players in the game and getting a try herself as well in the final.
So New Zealand, medals around the necks, and they're waiting for the cup presentation. The sunshine still beating down. The crowd have stayed on to cheer them. New Zealand champions in Langford. Smiles all round. Sarah Goss raises the cup high. And this is what it means for the table and the standings in the series after 4 events. Australia's lead has been cut to just 4 points. New Zealand climbing up to 70. Australia maintaining their lead at the top, but 4 points now. And France up to 3rd, Canada 4th, and Russia drop all the way down to 6th from 3rd. So they'll be disappointed with that, but I'm sure they'll be back for Paris and indeed building towards the World Cup. DHL Performance Tracker, Camille Gracineau from France leading the standings at the end of day 2, ahead of Stacey Flood, who went in on top before her ball was kicked today. Bianca Ferreira, well, what a tournament she had, particularly today. She was outstanding for Canada. All right, so here are the top 3. The United States of America, Australia, and the champions New Zealand all together. Great to see it. I have to say as well, Maggie, you know, just from my point of view, I don't know what you think, this is my favourite tournament on the circuit. The crowd that always come out here, the noise they make, the atmosphere. It's a beautiful place. British Columbia, Victoria, Langford. Fantastic.
I totally agree with you, and what's great about the crowd, they don't just come out for Canada, they come out for absolutely everyone. And you've got some New Zealand fans in the crowd. We also had some Fijian fans as well. I think it's just the atmosphere as well they bring. It's just so positive, and they support every team, every player.
Okay, we do have a certain matter to take care of before we leave you. New Zealand, as is the tradition, will celebrate their cup title win with the Haka. So that's a wrap then. The Haka to see us out. It's been an incredible weekend. We hope you've enjoyed the rugby. Champions New Zealand for 2018 here in Canada. And thanks so much for being with us. To all the crew, we'll see you in Paris and France in a month's time.